And yes, we can all sing along.
Welcome to that guy that has that show. I want to teach you all a lesson you will learn. Rusty, you're not the smartest. Lifebell, you're not an artist. Anyone's at that common college. They can be absurd. Linkara is a man, but with forget Linkara. He has magic gun, Raver stack Linkara. Coins, robots, Amazon trucks Linkara. This kind sucks Linkara.
All right, before we begin, just to let you know, after this panel, I'm going to have an impromptu autograph session downstairs on that autograph area behind the escalators. I have more DVDs. I have more badges. I found one more plushie Cyberman in my bag. I will not hold it for anyone, sorry.
So you're just gonna have to fight for the death for it.
Pretty much, yeah. That being said, are you all ready? Very good. Hello and welcome to Land of Atop the Fourth Wall Live! If this is your first time seeing Atop the Fourth Wall in live or recorded form, well, you decided to be here, and now you get to learn that actions have consequences. I would also like to remind people that I know you get excited about the live shows and may want to throw out your own comments out at the comic, but please remember, I'm taping this, so you can throw them out if you want, but if you're not funny, then you're being not funny in front of thousands of people. Which is something I have to deal with every week, and I don't want that burden on anyone. Anyway, I'm up here again at ConBravo in Canada. Last year I reviewed a comic that had nothing at all to do with Canada, but a defunct toy line. So I got to thinking, maybe this year I should do something more Canadian. Maybe I should do something that actually celebrates this fine nation and my neighbor to the north. Maybe I should do a Canadian comic. But I got busy and couldn't think of anything, so instead we're doing Captain Planet. Specifically, we're doing the very first issue of Marvel's Captain Planet series. Longtime viewers will recall that a long time ago, I took on the Mati is useless trope from issue number 3. Where Mati used his powers of brainwashing and communication with the animals to lead an all-out assault on some terrorists with an army of rabid animals. The power of heart, it seems, is in fact to have that grizzly bear rip your still beating heart from your body, hold it up to your face, and let you watch it stop beating. If you've never seen Captain Planet before, don't worry. This is, in fact, the origin issue for the team.
Oh, no.
And we've got ourselves the cover, which is just kind of weird. It'd be fine if it was just the main 5 running at the reader with the logo and Captain Planet behind them, but why exactly is it in the form of a film strip with the image repeated over and over? For the record, the story has nothing to do with movies or films or anything like that. Or perhaps they were subtly suggesting that instead of the medium of comics, they should have gone with a movie, wherein Don Cheadle could be Captain Planet and make things into trees. And here's your This is Hoggish Greedley, the greediest man who ever lived. Well, apparently he's not spending any of that money on dental care. You think it's hard to eat solid food when you only have 4 teeth, and when your only 4 teeth are snake fangs? Right now, Hoggish is doing what he does best, making a pig of himself. And we see on the next page that he has a giant construction robot clearing away wildlife sanctuary so he can drill for oil. As as pigs are known to do.
Use your harpoons and tow cables.
Man, the early Jaeger designs for Pacific Rim were kind of weird. Ha ha! With this giant land blaster, I'll be able to drill for oil anywhere, even in the wildlife sanctuary. Ha ha ha! Oh, Republicans. I'm a conservative, I'm allowed to make that joke. Right, and before anybody even knows we're here, we'll have our tanks full of oil and be gone. Oh yeah, just look at that robot, completely inconspicuous. No one will be able to see or hear that thing coming. Ridley's land blaster begins to dig and unearth Cthulhu, defender of Earth. No, actually, he wakes up Gaia, the spirit of the Earth. She has rested peacefully for 100 years, but she is about to have a rude awakening. And that's not because of the drilling, it's because she forgot to set her alarm clock and she's missed about a gajillion TV shows she wanted to watch over the last 100 years. And by the way, why the hell was the spirit of the Earth sleeping to begin with? Doesn't she have a job to do, you know, being the spirit and all? She doesn't shape up, she's gonna get canned in the next reorg. Start filing some TPS reports, lady. Checking her mystical pink viewing screen, she sees the effect that industry have on the world. It's those poor silly humans again. They're gonna destroy my planet if they keep going like this. What's a mother to do? Time for Mama to give humanity a spanking. Earthquakes away! The time has come for the rings. Yes, 5 rings of power for the world of men. But they were all fooled, for Gaia forged another ring. To rule them all. Instead of a Dark Lord, you would have a queen! I need young people to help now, starting with 5 very special kids. I must recruit 5 teenagers with attitude. She sends out the rings, and here's where we get something slightly head-scratching. She picks them out from 5 continents, so Kwame from Africa, Guy from Asia, etc. Except for Linka, who is listed as being from the Soviet Union. I guess the Soviet Union was considered its own continent in 1991. Also, Linka is apparently playing on her double-road keyboard at the top of a mountain. Nice.
Or down music videos.
The 5 are instantly teleported to Gaia. Welcome to Hope Island. Because I guess Hope Underground Cavern miles under the earth doesn't have quite the same ring to it. Say lady, you want to explain what's going on here? So much for drama. Lady, 5 minutes ago you said the earth was dying. Can the balloon juice and make it the world saving. And apparently it is an island, despite that earlier panel. Again, stated that she was under the earth. Or did she just whip this up really quick? Let me get this straight. Your name is Gaia, and you're the spirit of the earth? And you brought us here to save the earth from being ruined? Off-screen exposition, the best kind!
No, the island's talking to you.
While Gaia continues to talk to them, Wheeler hits on Linka. Love your accent, babe. You Russian? Soviet. Please go away. Love it. Hey, babe, how'd you like to overthrow my bourgeoisie? Gaia explains how their rings can control the elements, starting with Linka, who has the power of wind. She just says wind out loud and is immediately engulfed in a whirlwind, which will no doubt drain all the air from the area around her while propelling her up into the ceiling. Truly, Gaia has brought good into the world. The whirlwind dissipates and she falls on her ass. Shut, false me! And a little caption box translates that as Russian for drat it. Unsurprisingly, when I Googled this, it turns out she said, damn it. Congratulations! Swearing in a Captain Planet story. Also, they misspelled it, but the sentiment is there. Kwame, Wheeler, and Guy promptly use their powers of earth, fire, and water to trash their new headquarters. Gaia didn't really spend that much time looking for her team, did she? And naturally, Mati's power is Heart, which he uses to calm a monkey. That's our Mati! Beastmaster 4, this time it's Heart. And of course, the power of Heart also grants him minor telepathy with the other members, or at the very least, empathic abilities. Linka wants some more comments in Russian. Boschi moi! The caption tells us it's Russian for, oh my goodness. And Google once more tells me that it's my God, actually. But of course, we can't feature God in a series for children, after all. No. It's only about mystical earth spirits. That's the real religion. That's right, Mati. Yours is the greatest power of all, for without a heart to guide them, the other powers are useless. I don't know, Wheeler was able to start a fire without Heart pretty well. Seems to me he'd be very useful for a barbecue. And thus, they're all united as the Planeteers, and I do like how they don't question this. Really, why would they? I mean, they just got teleported to this place and exhibited magical powers. Denying it at this point would just be stupid. Man, this is gonna be hot! And Wheeler burns his own hands. Good to know that even mentioning warm temperatures causes the powers to go off. So what, if he thinks of snow or something, does he create some kind of cold fire? Or fireballs instead of snowballs?
Or snowflake?
Actually, that'd be kind of awesome.
Snowflake?
Snowflake! I didn't even realize I did that.
Come to think about it, it would suck if he was dating someone.
I'll give that kid any cocaine.
But first, I see we will need to practice with our new powers. I'm afraid there's no time, Kwame. Oh yeah, don't take any time to quickly practice. Just send him into a forest without any kind of training. Why do I get the feeling by the time this battle is over, the forest will be flooded, cracked, scattered in 4 directions from whirlwinds, and then burnt to the ground? Still, Monty will be able to make the animals happy despite their lost habitat. I wonder if there's a setting on his ring to make them all stoned. After informing them of Hoggish Greedley's efforts, they're handed a superpowered jet that's probably fueled by good vibes or something. Linka says that she wishes Gaia could be with them, and it turns out she can, since Mati summons up a pink hologram of her. Don't worry, Planeteers. Though I need to stay here at Hope Island, I will be with you in spirit.
Pinkie Pie, is that you?
What was that?
Is it Pinkie Pie? Is that you?
No.
I can't see it back there.
If you're the spirit of the earth, why are you not allowed... Oh, sorry, I'm speaking in Gaia voice. If you're the spirit of the earth, why are you not allowed to move around on the earth? Did you get drunk one time and pee in the corner and the earth barred you from re-entry? Wheeler, of course, points out how frickin' useless it is that she's not coming with. A lot of good that will do us in a firefight. Wheeler, don't say fire until you mean it. And yes, even this has caused them to set their plane on fire. Now, maybe this whole thing was actually supposed to be a vocabulary exercise for children. Figure out a way to say the same thing, but with different words. Or perhaps these rings are kind of stupid and show that Gaia didn't pay the engineers who built these things enough money, and they went on strike before completion. Greedily and Rigger spot the Planeteers approaching in the plane, realizing they're in trouble. Hoggish Greedly will be too slick for them. This guy really gives new meaning to greased up and squeal like a pig. I'll spray them with oil. Weren't you hoping to sell that oil? Forgiving that you're using it as a weapon instead of just having your giant mech platform punch the plane or something? It's gonna be hard to find a buyer since you're trying to kill people. It makes it a bit more difficult to sell your illegally obtained oil. And indeed, he apparently had a hose exactly for this purpose, since he sprays oil on the plane. Well, oil's well that ends well! I love how that's actually a double pun with the word well. Gotta give Greedy that, he's awesome at wordplay.
Puns make children cry.
But they make me laugh, and I survive on said tears.
Somehow that doesn't surprise me.
And now the salt from my tears is causing pain in my wounds.
The plane is going down and the controls are jammed, so the team quickly gets into action. Wheeler, take out the door! You got it, Rooski Tootsie! Wheeler, on the other hand, has the wordplay of a 1920s flapper. But yeah, he uses his fire to blast out the door. I bet there was probably a button that could have done that. Also, why didn't it just set the door on fire? How did he learn to give his fire concussive forces? Using a tornado and a patch of land, they save the ship from crashing. We did it! We did it! Excellent! Go, Planeteers!
We stopped.
Hooray! They stopped themselves from dying horribly for 5 more minutes before he walks over and floods you with more oil or steps on you or, well, anything else. Yay! Hoggish walks his neck platform over to them. Greetings, strange ship. Who are you, anyway? I just figured I'd try to kill you without figuring out if you're here to help me or not. We're the Planeteers. We're the Planeteers, you pollution-causing creep, and as soon as we get our boat set up, we're gonna sail over there and kick your curly pink tail. Dude, you can shoot fire! He's standing in the water, and you can summon big dirt piles from the water. Stop trying to port at your canoe and open fire on the asshole! You better mind your own business, kid, or I'll shoot oil all over your furry friends on shore. He will kill all the animals. Well, then you better friggin' do something about it, shouldn't you? Lead the animals away. Use super intense heat to melt the metal in the platform's legs or set the oil it contains ablaze. And if you're worried about oil contamination, Dee has control over the water. She can separate the affected water from the rest of it. Or hell, summon a massive tornado to lift the thing up and away. You have superpowers and your children. Use your imagination.
Where's your practice boots?
But no, as we stated, the kids that Gaia chose were apparently in the lowest percentile and instead decide to combine their powers. After calling out their names, their rings fire out beams of energy that form into, pea soup, it looks like. Truly the ultimate power of Earth. Actually, multicolored powers all joining together and shooting their beams together while commanding different elements focused around the concept of a world. This would have been so much better if they had called out Sailor Planet Attack instead. Or maybe recited Green Lantern notes, I don't know. By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet! So here's my question. Why is he Captain Planet? Why isn't he Major Planet or Brigadier General Planet? I mean, what military recognizes him as a captain? At least Captain America is a captain in the army. See, I think this is the real reason they renamed Captain Marvel as Shazam, because they realize he doesn't captain anything. Or does Captain Planet have his own ship and crew that he's responsible for? And we just kind of summon him away all the time.
Captain Starship Earth.
Starship Earth, yeah. Planeteers, your rings are temporarily useless while I'm here, but I am your powers combined and magnified. So really, you didn't need me at all if you just used your heads, but whatever. Anyway, Captain Planet goes after Gridley and instructs the kids to go help the animals in the meantime. Now, the first order of business is to put all this oil back where it came from. A noble effort, Cap, but why don't you seal the leak, siphon that oil off someplace safe to sell later since it's already available, and then donate the profits to charity, thus repairing the damage, making some good come out of the damage, and reducing our dependency on foreign oil. In fact, with the powers these kids have at their disposal, why aren't they using their powers to safely extract natural resources without all the problems that usually come with the job? Oh, that's right, because the people who write this stuff are generally less creative than regular children. Also, oil is totally evil and it kills stuff, and using our brains would require effort.
Truly, land spirits work in mysterious ways.
Yep, and once more, we power our ships on good vibes.
You can't let it fall to the evil
And Captain Planet seals it up by throwing a rock at the leak, thus removing the danger forever. Removing the danger forever! He then goes after Greedley. Rigger grabs him with a mechanical claw. This drill will finish him off! This is the drill that will pierce the heavens! Ha ha ha! That tickled! And now I have metal splinters in my chest that will cause an infection.
It was transparent.
He smashes up the machine and grabs Rigger. And I know just the place for garbage like you. Tabloid magazines. No, he throws him into a random garbage can that just happens to be in a nature preserve.
Do not litter, subliminal messaging.
Fortunately for Greedley, he's got toxic waste stored in his giant bag. I guess just in case he runs into this kind of thing. And he launches it at Captain Planet. And down like a ton of bricks. The other kids run to him as he proclaims that the toxic waste is draining his strength. And if it's anything like RoboCop, it's also turning him into a melting mush of goop. Wheeler notices that the globe on his chest is glowing. Oh my god, he's radioactive! Or it's indicating that he's still preheating.
The goggles, they do nothing.
What goggles?
It
It doesn't work if they don't have goggles. Kwame tells them to get some water, but they realize Guy doesn't have her water power right now. You know, on the previous panel, we saw he landed, right next to the shore. You could, dump him into the water. Look out! Greedley's starting to move his land blaster! It's been moving this entire time, Monty! In another previous panel, we saw the thing moving over him. Also, why did you feel the need to put on lipstick? This is no time for makeup, Monty! Somehow, they managed to move a large boulder over in front of the mech, which somehow stops Greedley from stepping on Captain Planet. Even though, as you can see, he was gonna miss anyway.
No, time out. Guys, so they moved the boulder to stop that, so they can't move him to the lake?
Yep.
By the power of the sweat field! It's right there!
Lincoln and Guy return with water, which, again, they were near the shoreline. Seems like it would have been more effective. They dump the water on his chest, which instantly clears away the toxic waste. Yeah, I never knew toxic waste was so easy to dispose of. Why does everyone seem to have such a problem with it? Anyway, the sun recharges him because he's solar powered or something. And so, Captain Planet lifts up the mech and tosses it like a mile away, yet Greedley somehow survives and makes a run for it.
Airbags.
And so the story ends with Captain Planet congratulating the kids and telling them that, indeed, the power is theirs! Except it's not really theirs, since Captain Planet had to do their job for them. And the power is removed when he's summoned, so overall they just kind of suck at this. And our final panel has them cleaning up the animals and Wheeler complaining, why do we have to clean up? This is now a mess. Because we care, my sweet imperialist dog. Right? And some rewards are greater than money. I bet that was a common motto for the Soviet government when they were handing out. What are you, Soviet?
We live kind of close.
But wait! We're not quite done. We've got a Planeteer alert. I want you to join me and the Planeteers in saving our planet.
No.
Here's your magic ring. Command the powers of the elements and make mortals bow to you as a god. You can fight oil spills and air pollution by encouraging your family not to waste gasoline and fuel oil.
Only you can.
Aren't those two the same thing? Or were they worried that people would be confused and think they meant vegetable oil or something? They talk about turning off lights to save power, or walking or bike riding instead of driving, or the most important one, if you can carpool, do it! Especially carpool with strangers, like whoever the hell this blonde guy with sunglasses.
It's Liquid Snake!
Let's all do our part to keep the earth clean. Well, you can start by picking up those weird-ass purple crystals near D's feet. Stop littering with your magic stones, dude! Anyway, this comic is actually okay for the most part. Don't get me wrong, the plot is still idiotically simplistic and naive, but the artwork is fine for the most part. There's nothing particularly offensive about it, and the story hits all the beats that it's supposed to and doesn't waste any time. Plus, it featured a giant walking oil platform, and that's just awesome. Hell, they even set up some characterization and potential storylines down the road. I got nothing else, so thank you, everybody!